Hello, my name is Linwoy Biggs. I am a senior here at the Florida Memorial University, majoring in finance with a minor in business administration. I'm a first-generation international student hailing all the way from the British Virgin Islands. I am extremely grateful for the UNCF for their assistance with this scholarship. It has helped my mother alleviate some of the financial pressure which we as international students face, having to pay out of pocket. However, it has also helped me to reach one step closer to my goal of becoming a financial advisor. When you give, you make dreams like mine possible.
It's a great day to be a Lion. I am Joy McMillan, a rising junior here at Florida Memorial University, majoring in law and government. Hailing from the big city of attractions, Orlando, Florida, Florida Memorial University has become the biggest attraction in my life. As a freshman, coming onto campus and experiencing the HBCU culture, it was truly inspiring and life-changing. As I stand here today as a junior, over the years I've emerged as a prominent student leader among my peers. I've had the privilege to be elected as the Student Government Association Vice President for the 2025-2026 school year. These accomplishments have not only left a mark on me, but also my family. My mother was inspired to further her education and obtain her bachelor's. This is leaving a legacy to forge forward in my family. When you give, you make dreams like mine possible.
Greetings, I am Carnesia Patton, a senior majoring in psychology from the beautiful city of Orlando, Florida. I currently serve as the Pre-Alumni Council President, and I want to help other students learn about the fellowships, scholarships, and programs that UNCF offers. UNCF has helped me overcome my academic challenges and getting cleared at my HBCU. Thank you so much to the UNCF partners and the UNCF e-board for allowing me to make it this far.
Hello. As chair of the Department of Arts and Humanities, I see firsthand the transformative power of music in our students' lives. Your support directly impacts them, providing scholarships, enhancing our programs, and creating vital opportunities. This Giving Day, join us in fostering the next generation of musicians and artists. Every contribution makes a difference. Thank you for your support.
Why give to Florida Memorial University? It's truly about creating pathways for global leaders of today and for tomorrow. Stating leadership, character, service, and accountability is truly the work that's done here.
I believe Give Day is important because it furthers students' education and lessens financial burden.
When you give, you're not just supporting a campus, you're expanding the horizon of student interests. From research in the arts to athletics and community service, your generosity opens doors for us to explore, create, and discover who we're meant to become.
FMU doesn't just educate students, it develops leaders, builds character, and creates legacy. Your support fuels scholarships, strengthens programs, and empowers students like me to lead and serve. Give back to FMU, because when you invest in us, you invest in the future.
FMU Give Day is special because it invites all of the supporters of this great university to give, especially the church. The church has been giving for years, and at this time, we want to say thank you for your continuous efforts to support your beloved university.
FMU has a legacy of providing access, opportunity, and purpose for students who might not otherwise have a pathway to higher education. When we give, we're not just supporting a university, we're investing in futures, strengthening our community, and ensuring that FMU continues to thrive for generations to come.
If you are willing, and we hope you are, to give to Florida Memorial University, we guarantee you that the resources provided will be used to educate, to train, and to propel students into a better future. Thank you for opening your hearts, your wallets, and making a difference for other students to come here and change their lives. as I have. God bless you, and we look forward for you being a partner of Florida Memorial University.
So they may not use last Mike.
Hello. As chair of the Department of Arts and Humanities, I see firsthand the transformative power of music in our students' lives. Your support directly impacts them, providing scholarships, enhancing our programs, and creating vital opportunities. This Giving Day, join us in fostering the next generation of musicians and artists. Every contribution makes a difference. Thank you for your support.
Why give to Florida Memorial University? It's truly about creating pathways for global leaders of today and for tomorrow. Stating leadership, character, service, and accountability is truly the work that's done here.
I believe Give Day is important because it furthers students' education and lessens financial burden.
When you give, you're not just supporting a campus, you're expanding the horizon of student interests. From research in the arts to athletics and community service, your generosity opens doors for us to explore, create, and discover who we're meant to become.
FMU doesn't just educate students, it develops leaders, builds character, and creates legacy. Your support fuels scholarships, strengthens programs, and empowers students like me to lead and serve. Give back to FMU, because when you invest in us, you invest in the future.
FMU Give Day is special because it invites all of the supporters of this great university to give, especially the church. The church has been giving for years, and at this time, we want to say thank you for your continuous efforts to support your beloved university.
FAMU has a legacy of providing access, opportunity, and purpose for students who might not otherwise have a pathway to higher education. When we give, we're not just supporting a university, we're investing in futures, strengthening our community, and ensuring that FAMU continues to thrive for generations to come.
If you are willing, and we hope you are, to give to Florida Memorial University, we guarantee you that the resources provided will be used to educate, to train, and to propel students into a better future. Thank you for opening your hearts, your wallets, and making a difference for other students to come here and change their lives as I have. God bless you, and we look forward for you being a partner of Florida Memorial University.
remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, over serving the hypocrites, mingle with the good people.
Greetings, Lions. On behalf of the Provost Office, I want to encourage you and invite you to participate in our Homecoming 2025. I hope to see you there. Go Lions.
Today is not simply a celebration. It is a remembrance of courage. Today is a testimony of faith and living proof that a prayer spoken long ago still breathes through us today. Imagine, it is the year 1879. The sun hangs low over North Florida, casting a warm amber glow across untouched land. There are no paved roads beneath their feet, only dirt paths worn by journey and survival. No grand buildings rising into the sky, no residence hall echoing with laughter, no stadium lights cutting through the night, no laboratories alive with innovation and discovery. There is no sign, no structure, no visible evidence of what this place will one day become. Only wilderness, thick pine trees stretching endless towards the heavens, Spanish moss hanging off oak trees like quiet witnesses to history, the sound of wind whispering through the cypress and the distant calls of birds settling in the dust. And there, moving gently through it all, a river, the Suwannee River, dark, reflective waters, flowing slow, deliberate, eternal. A river that had seen slavery and heard the cries of the oppressed is now stood at a silent moment of understanding that they're about to see something brand new being born. No crowds, no cameras, no ceremony, just nature. Just nature and a handful of determined souls standing at the edge of uncertainty, yet anchored by unshakable faith. Because sometimes God does his greatest work not in what is already built, but in places where nothing exists except belief. And on its bank stand a small group of visionaries, newly free yet not fully free. Their hands still remember the weight of chains, their backs still carrying the memory of burden. Their eyes have seen what no human should endure, yet somehow their vision stretches beyond what they can see. They gather not as a people who have it all together, but as a people who had nothing left but God. And in that moment, they did something powerful. They kneeled, not on polished floors, but on the dirt that still holds the imprint of struggle. And they began to pray, their voices trembling, their words broken yet reaching heaven anyway. They were not praying for what is, they were praying for what must be. A school, a place where a black child could learn to read, not in secret, but in freedom. A sanctuary where faith would anchor them when the world tried to erase them. A place where minds would be liberated. They were praying for continuity, that what they started would outlive them. They were not praying for themselves. They were praying for people they would never meet, names they would never know, faces they would never see. They were praying for us. And today, 147 years later, we stand as the living answer to that fervent prayer. Florida Memorial University was born from faith, built through sacrifice, sustained by resilience, and carried forward by generations who refused to let the dream die, rooted in legacy.
continuing with our program, we will now have Dr. Bernard Jennings to introduce the president of this university. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Dr. Bernard Jennings. I'm the chairman of the Board of Trustees of this illustrious university. And on behalf of the members of the Board of Trustees, I welcome all of you here this evening. Thank you for being here and being a part of this very, very important event. We want to give special thanks to, and you can give them a round of applause, the NAACP for putting this event on. A special thanks to the lovely young ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. A special thanks to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And a very special thank you to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Thank you again for being here. And now I want to introduce to you our innovative, our transformational leader, our first alumnus in 147 years to serve this university, a remarkable change maker for the university, Mr. William C. McCormick, Jr. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to Florida Memorial University, your hometown HBCU, where legacy, leadership, and civic responsibility meet. On behalf of the entire Florida Memorial University family, we are proud to present the Lou Rawls Center for Performing Arts as the venue host for tonight's gathering. Our ancestors believed that informed people could never be defeated. They believed that knowledge was power, that participation was purpose, and that progress required presence. They pushed back against systems of confusion, against smoke and mirrors, against cultural deception, because they knew we could not build truth on illusion, and we could not secure justice in the dark. They taught us to stay away, to stay aware, and to stay engaged. Stay away from negativity. Stay aware of those who allow ego to look down on us, and stay engaged with what impacts us as a people and as a community. And so tonight, let's honor that legacy. Let this gathering be more than a conversation. Let it become a commitment to educate, to organize, to vote, and to serve. Because the future of our democracy will not be determined by those who complain the loudest. It will be determined by those who participate the most. In this moment, in this climate, in this community, no candidate should ask for your vote without answering your questions. So tonight, listen with intention, ask with courage, and expect clarity. And before the night is over, those who seek to represent you in this Congressional District 24 must do more than speak. They must prove themselves worthy of your trust and worthy of your vote. And now, as we move forward in the spirit of truth and transparency, may we bring back Ms. Danielle Pierre, President of Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP, to guide us through the night. Thanks again for coming.
We're going to continue with our program. Before we go any further, I want to thank again everyone for being here with us tonight. But I want us to all join in and give a special honor and recognition to our dearly beloved Congresswoman, Frederica S. Wilson. We thank her for her legacy and leadership and service of District 2024. Also want to thank tonight our incredible partners that made this event happen and allow us to be here today. Florida Memorial University, one of our leading partners, event hosts, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, the Congresswoman's Pumps, Pearls, and Politics team, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and our dearly civil rights organization, the NAACP of Miami-Dade Branch. We also pay a special thank you to our moderators for the evening for giving up their time to guide us through tonight's conversation. Special thanks to all of our candidates, all of the volunteers, and to each of you in your respective places. We are so glad that you are here with us on this evening. Well, we're less than 60 days from the election of our lives. And it is important that we continue to do our research and have conversations so that when we go to the ballot box, we're able to make an informed decision. Because the future of District 24 and our entire nation is resting with the people that show up, the people that vote, the people that get out. So we want to thank everyone again for being here and recognizing those efforts. Additionally, we have elected officials and dignitaries who are with us tonight. Want to recognize Representative Angie Nixon for being with us tonight. I believe she's here. Judge Maybelle Ruiz is here as well. Representative Ashley Gant is here with us as well. And we have leaders of the Democratic team as well as the members of the Republican Party as well here. We recognize say it again, it's a lot. Wait, 1 second, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. State Representative Felicia Robinson. Oh, they're not on my paper. Thank you. Okay. Is it any other dignitaries that are not here? Former Congressman Kendrick Meek is in the house as well. Yes. Any other electeds that are not listed here? We don't want to omit anyone for tonight. Everyone, anyone else? Someone else? Who's in the back? Okay. Who? That's right. Lord Jesus. My sister, Commissioner Daniela John, City of North Miami Beach. Yes. Anyone else, elected official, dignitary on this evening? Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, got some. West Park. All right. Whoa. Okay, West Park. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Who is it? From West Park. Excellent. Yes, yes. Excellent. All right. Okay. One last call. Oh, okay. Who is it? Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. All right. Thank you for that. We're going to continue. So this year, our nation commemorates 250 years of independence. Oh, we have someone else. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let's make certain. Yes. Okay, Opalaka. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I thought I closed it, but I'll extend again. Any other current elected official, former, past, someone else is standing? Can't see. Okay, I think we covered everyone. We don't want to omit anyone because we recognize you for your service. Let's give them all a hand, all of our electeds, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much. You do so much for our community, and we are appreciative for everything that you do. Those who are currently serving, those who were serving in the past, and those who have the aspiration to serve. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to go forward. This year, our nation commemorates 250 years of independence. Yet, for many communities, freedom, equality, and justice has never been simply given. As the NAACP and many others, we have had to organize, march, fight, but one thing we always remember is to get out the vote. For more than a century, the NAACP has stood on the front lines of that fight. We continue to work with the promises of ensuring that democracy belongs to and remain for everyone. We understand that our vote is our currency, and when you vote, that's the power of our community. We're approaching the primary elections, and that will decide. The primary election will decide who goes to the general election. So if you don't come out for primary, okay, all right, you know the answer. So we're asking you to bring your family, bring your neighbors, even bring the people you don't like, because this ain't about you. This is about our community, okay? Bring 10 or more people to the polls, because when we show up, when we vote, we win, okay? When we do those things, we become exactly what democracy is supposed to look like. So tonight is not about politics, not at all. I don't care what you heard. It's not about politics. It's about we, the people, and the future of District 24. District 24 is home to more than 800,000 residents, okay? It's one of the most diverse districts in the nation. So the decisions of our next representative, who will continue the legacy of Congresswoman Wilson, will continue to shape our schools, our economy, our health care, housing, immigration policies, public safety, and opportunities available for our next generation. This and why is important to tonight. Tonight, we come together to amplify the voices of Black America and every community represented in this district. We're here to ensure that solutions to our most pressing challenges are equitable, fair, and just. So tonight, let's listen, let's learn, let's lean in to the discussion, because an informed voter is a powerful voter. Okay? So I'll leave you with this. When the people are informed, our democracy is strengthened. When the people are engaged, communities are transformed. And when we show up to the polls and vote, we win. Okay? All right, we're going to continue. I think I lost part of my program. We're going to move forward now. All right, we're going to move forward now with our introduction of moderators. Are you ready? Yes. Oh, yes, we're ready. We're moving right in time. Right in time, okay. Right in time. Tonight, our first moderator up, we're going to go in ABC order. Attorney L'Oreal Arscott. She is active in the Florida bar and in her local community. She is the past president of the Wilkie D. Ferguson Bar Association and the Gwen S. Cherry Black Women's Lawyers Association. Ms. Arscott earned a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and English while minoring in psychology from Florida State University. She then earned her Juris Doctorate from the University of Florida's College of Law. Okay. Ms. R. Scott previously served as Assistant City Attorney for the City of Miami Gardens and later became the inaugural Director of the Office of Civic Engagement. Prior to serving at the City of Miami Gardens, Ms. R. Scott practiced litigation in the corporate law department of a major insurance company. Ms. R. Scott is active in her community, and we're so grateful for her service here on tonight. Thank you. Our next moderator, former State Senator Dwight Bullard. He is the Senior Political Advisor of Florida Rising, where he leads the organization to bring political education and awareness to the underserved. He was raised way down there in Richmond Heights. After graduating high school, he continued his education. I think he said FAMU. Is that where? Oh, okay. Okay. Where he received his Bachelor of Science. Where he received his Bachelor of Science degree in history education. Former Senator Bullard served as a teacher at Coral Reef Senior High School, and in 2008, he was sworn into office as representative of District 118. He was re-elected subsequently. In 2012, Senator Bullard was elected to the Florida Senate, where he served as vice chair of Transportation and Agriculture committees and maintained membership on education and several committees. Thank you, Senator Bullard. Our next moderator, Attorney Travis Randolph. Okay, come on. Attorney Randolph is partner in the Miami office of Quinteros, Prieto, Wood, and Boyer. Mr. Randolph began his legal career as an assistant public defender representing clients charged with misdemeanor crimes and felony offenses in the Miami-Dade County Public Defender's Office. He is a United States Army veteran and the current general counsel of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP. He is a 3-term past president of Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. Bar Association, which is the Black Lawyers Association of Miami-Dade County. He is also the chair of SAVE Foundation, which is the premier LGBTQ civil rights organization in Miami-Dade County, and an executive board member of the ACLU of Florida. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, so we're getting ready for our candidates. All right, it's time for that. Let's do it. As I call the candidate's name, I believe they should proceed to the stage. You all saying that to me? Which one? Okay. All right, our first candidate, and before we go into that, this is very important to say that all organizations represented here tonight are nonpartisan. We do not endorse candidates or any political affiliation. Okay. Candidate Tay Manana Brown. Candidate for Congressional District 24. Candidate Marshall Davis, candidate for Congressional District 24. Candidate Oliver Gilbert. Candidate for Congressional District 24. Candidate Chevron Jones. Candidate Congressional District 24. All right. Candidate Kendrick Meek. Candidate for Congressional District 24. Candidate Jean Monestein. Candidate for Congressional District 24. And candidate Roderick Vereen, candidate for Congressional District 24. Community, I present to you the candidates that are here for Congressional District 24. Let's give them all a round of applause. All candidates to tonight's town hall were invited, but these are the ones who took the time to show up. Okay, let's give them a round of applause for showing up. We invited everyone. So now I'll turn this segment of the program over to our moderators. Again, we ask that you listen, you learn, and lean in for tonight's lively discussion. At the end, we will have an opportunity to receive questions by way of index card, so please get those ready at this time. Thank you. Moderators, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Madam President, for those kind introductions a bit earlier. And thank you to the Miami-Dade chapter of the NAACP, Florida Memorial University, Dade County Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Gamma Zeta chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Gamma Zeta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay, all right, Alpha Kappa Alpha, all right now. And of course, the Pumps and Pearls in Politics, the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, for inviting us this evening. Good evening, everyone. I am sorry my back is to y'all, but we thank you for attending tonight's panel on the future of Congressional District 24 Political Candidates Town Hall. This evening, you'll hear from the candidates who are before you, who are vying to represent Florida's Congressional District 24. Of course, we have a full agenda this evening, and you have several candidates that you're going to hear from. Our hope is that after hearing from the candidates, you are more informed on the issues. As Madam President just stated, an informed voter is a powerful voter. That you are enlightened about the candidate's position, and most of all, that you are energetically engaged and ready to cast your ballot. You'll hear from these candidates in just a few, but before we get into that, we want to lay down some ground rules. So let's get into this housekeeping. We're going to begin our town hall by allowing the candidates to introduce themselves to you, the voters. Each candidate will have 1 minute to introduce themselves. Candidates, please be mindful of the timer. You see the gentleman sitting to my left, your right. At the 30-second mark, you're going to see a yellow. At the 5-second mark, you're going to see red. We are jumping to 5 seconds, not 15. Yes, sir. And then you'll see the stop sign at the end when your time is up. We ask you to please stop when you see that stop sign. Thank you. After the introductory statements, we're going to move on to the question and answer portion of our program, where again, each candidate will have 1 minute to respond with the same countdown we previously discussed. The moderators reserve the right to ask candidates follow-up questions. In the event that you are asked a follow-up question, you will only have 30 seconds to respond, not 1 minute, 30 seconds. If you are asked a follow-up question and you have your 30 seconds to respond, at the 15-second mark, you will see that yellow sign. And at the 5-second mark, you will see red and the stop sign. If you continue to speak when your time is up, you will be asked to stop. Now, at the end of each segment, we're going to then move into the rapid response round. During the rapid response segment, a question will be posed to the candidates. If the answer is yes, the candidate will signify their response by saying yes, loud and clear. And if the answer is no, you'll signify your response by saying no, loud and clear. At the end of our question and rapid response, each candidate will then be given 1 minute to render their final thoughts. Audience members, remember, you were given an index card for you to present questions to the candidates. For our viewers online, you can put your questions in the chat, and we will get to your questions. Candidates, please be reminded you only have 1 minute for your responses. Candidates are strongly encouraged to focus your response on the question posed and your position on the issues. Without any further ado, we'll jump into our first portion of introductory statements. First, we'll hear from Ms. Brown.
Good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. My name is Mayana Brown. I am a mother that is homeschooling my children through this chaos. I am a real estate developer. I am an author. I'm an educator. I am a school teacher by trade. Not only that, I am a proud granddaughter of an Army veteran. I am a proud sister of a Navy veteran. I am a proud daughter of 2 American citizens who actually opened up their businesses from the ground up to become successful. I moved here in Florida because Florida still believes in faith, family, freedom, and opportunity. And I'm here today just to ask you not to judge me on what you think, but actually on what I can deliver. Again, my name is Tay Mayana Brown, and I am here to serve this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Davis?
Good evening. My name is Marshall Davis. I'm a native of Miami. I've been working in this particular area for the last 43 years, and I've been successful in developing over 15,000 students who are around the world, showing the possibility of what a good education, good vocational education, and a good experience in the arts can do. I'm a unique candidate because I'm not the typical candidate. I'm a candidate that provides leadership and brings forth results. I ask you, if you don't believe, to Google me and find out the wonderful things that have been done and the opportunities I've had to work in this wonderful South Florida area. I'm looking forward to working in this community, working in this district, to find ways to bring people together and to make positive things happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Commissioner Gilbert.
Good evening. I'm Oliver Gilbert. I'm a county commissioner, but before I was a county commissioner, I was just a kid who went to Parkview, Parkway, and then Norland. A young man who went to FAMU for undergrad, came back and got his law degree from the University of Miami, catching the bus and the Metro Rail all the way there every night. Every night when I would come back to the MLK station, my dad would pick me up and he'd say, "What did you learn today?" His idea was that I would bring whatever I learned at the University of Miami back here to Miami Gardens, my hometown. When I say this is my hometown, it's literally my hometown. The first house that I lived in was 5 minutes from here. I live in a house that's 10 minutes from here right now. I was the mayor of Miami Gardens, a county commissioner, the chairman of the board. I've been serving this community since 2008, and I look forward to serving you as your congressperson. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Gilbert. Senator Jones.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chevron Jones. Most of you call me Chev. I'm the proud son of Eric and Blaniva Jones, a pastor and a teacher. My parents taught 2 things to my brothers and I. It was faith and service. And that's what led me to go teach AP Chemistry at Everglades Senior High School right in Miramar. We were raised right here in the Bajas on 210 Terrace. And then we moved to Cabo Ranches, now known as West Park. But after that, while in the classroom, it was something that my students taught me, and that was that government should work for the people and not against the people. And even that's how I went to Tallahassee for the past 14 years, working in one of the toughest legislative bodies in the nation. You all have been on that journey with me. You all have fought the tough battles with me. And I hope that you all will send me to Washington, D.C. so we can continue to fight these tough battles together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Jones. Mr. Meek.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kendrick Meek. I'm going to be your member of Congress. Some of you may know me by my name. You may know my grandmother, Congresswoman Carrie Meek, who served this community for many, many years honorably. You might know my dad, too, Congressman Kendrick Meek, who continued that legacy in Congress on our behalf. But let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a young candidate, I know that, but we need a new generation of leadership in Washington for this community if we want to turn it around. Because the people that built this community can't afford to live here anymore. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the same leaders get elected and doing the same things and not moving our community forward. That's why I hope I can earn your support on August 18th. God bless y'all, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Meek. Former Commissioner Monestein.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jean Monestein. I'm Haitian American. I immigrated to this country about 45 years ago. After I arrived here, as a 17-year-old, this community welcomed me. As I started working, mopping floors at restaurants, washing dishes, mowing lawns, before I started driving a cab to pay my college education. Along the way, I learned that to be successful in this country, you have to pay back what your community gave you. That's what I learned. So I'm running for Congress to continue to serve you as I did on the county commission for 12 years, so that every child in this community, every worker, every family may have the same opportunity I had. I urge you to vote for Jean Monestein on August 18.
Thank you, Commissioner Monestein. Mr. Vereen.
Good evening. My name is Roderick Vereen. Everybody calls me Rod Vereen, out of Carroll City. I've been a practicing lawyer, criminal defense lawyer for the past 36 years. I'm a former prosecutor, a former assistant federal public defender, and I am the most qualified federal candidate for the office of Congress. Congress is the lawmaking body of the government. They write the laws that we have to follow. True? I'm a member of the Northern District of Florida Federal Bar, the Middle District of Florida Federal Bar, the Southern District of Florida Federal Bar, the Western District of Michigan, United States Supreme Court, and the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Congress demands that you know the law when you get there. This position demands that you know federal law when you get there. This is not a novice position. I am asking that take the time to find out who I am if you don't know me already. I've been standing on all 10s for the people in the 24th, and I will continue to do that. I would ask that when you get to the polls on August 18th, you select and punch 36 for Rod Vereen.
Thank you, Mr. Vereen.
Thank you all for those introductions. We're going to jump into the questions. Again, each candidate will have 1 minute to answer, and we'll start with Mrs. Brown. As we know, the federal minimum wage is a measly $7.25, and it's been that way for the last 17 years, since 2009. We know here in the state of Florida that our minimum wage, thanks to a constitutional ballot initiative, was raised to $15 by the voters. If you were to become a member of Congress, would you support a raising of the federal minimum wage? To what level? And if not, what's the alternative to raising the minimum wage if you do not support the raising of the minimum wage? Starting with Ms. Brown.
Well, as a small business owner, I can tell you that if we raise the minimum wage, people's hours is going to get cut as a small business owner. $15 an hour here in the state of Florida is absolutely, is not doable. And this is why we need to create more good jobs and bring more small business owners to the state. We need to create jobs. The reason why I'm saying that is because we know that they're trying to get it to $25. $25 is going to bankrupt America's small business owners. I can say that because what's going to happen to, where's the funding going to come for the small business owners to actually pay that amount of money? It's not going to work. So what's going to happen is it's going to be good for a small business owner on some level because we're going to be in another bracket when it comes down to taxes because all of you full-time employers, we're going to have to cut your hours. So you're going to have to be part-time in order for us to fulfill that. So at the end of the day, I'm here to give facts, I'm here to give truth, and I'm just here to tell you exactly what will happen. So we need to bring more jobs. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Davis.
Thank you. I think we should look at a standard federal wage increase. I think we should look at the possibility of having federal government support those increases. If we're going to have the feds say that it should be, they need to give us the support to make it be. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilbert.
Yes, I would support raising the federal minimum wage. I mean, I don't understand what the question is. Of course you do. Listen, you can do that in a bunch of different ways. You can have the federal government give tax breaks to the small businesses who it impacts. But what we know about affordability is this. It's not just that stuff is high, it's that the wages have been stagnant. So when you go and they charge you $1 more for bread and you're not making $1 more in your wages, that doesn't work. Yes, I would support raising the federal minimum wage because that's what Americans need right now. Thank you.
Senator Jones.
So yes, we should raise the minimum wage, but it's how we do it and how we raise the minimum wage. The one thing that Congress can do is that we can look at the cliff effect. And I'll have something that I think we can solve this, and that's a bipartisan way in doing what's called the Cliff Act. An individual who's making minimum wage should not have to negotiate whether or not she wants to get a pay raise or deal with losing her governmental benefits. That is what we're dealing with. So not should we only raise the minimum wage, what's the plan to raise the minimum wage? We need to make sure that Congress, in a bipartisan way, because this is not a partisan issue, we need to make sure that Congress understands that if we raise the minimum wage to ensure that individuals are not having to choose between having to take care of their children and their families or trying to make their way up and pull themselves up by their bootstrap to get into the middle class. So yes, I support raising the minimum wage. Yes.
Mr. Meek.
Of course I support raising the minimum wage. I would raise it to $17 an hour. You'll notice that some of my opponents actually didn't answer the question by saying what they would raise the minimum wage to, which is a question you asked. So I just want to make it clear about that. That's number one. But number two, we also have to lower the cost of living for average people too. That means lowering the cost of housing, making sure that people can afford their first home. Those are my priorities, and I'm sure they're your priorities too. So I hope I can earn your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Modesty.
I do support raising the minimum wage, but I'll tell you how that's going to happen. When I was chairman of the county commission, I established the Council for Prosperity Initiative. And it started at the time with the living wage ordinance. And we increased the minimum wage, especially on government contract first, and private sector followed. Why? Because we had labor at the table. So a decision on the living wage requires that we have labor at the table, because the entities that lobbies for the people that work daily to take care of the family should be part of the decision-making process. Yes, I will support raising the minimum wage.
Thank you. Mr. Vereen.
Hey, when that happens, start my clock again, please. I am in favor of yes. To answer the question, I'm in favor of raising the minimum wage. To what number, I can't tell you. What I would suggest is you allow part-time employees to unionize. Here's what has happened. Walmart, superstores permeated all over the state of Florida, especially Miami Gardens. Most of their employees are part-time workers. Why? They work under 19 hours, so why? They don't have to pay what? Health benefits. Allow part-time workers to unionize, and that'll change. If it changes, then the problem has been resolved. If it doesn't change, then what needs to happen is that even as a part-time worker, the employer should be required to pay the health benefits and the other benefits that go along with the 401ks and the remainder. All right, thank you.
Americans have seen a sharp increase in the cost of living, most notably in the grocery stores and at the gas pump. How would you address inflation and rising costs facing working families in Miami Gardens, Miramar, Hollywood, and Pembroke Park especially? Ms. Brown?
It's going back to the question, the question that you guys actually just had. But the first thing we need to do is cut wasteful spending. We actually need to cut wasteful spending in order and bring energy costs down. That's the only way it's going to happen. And the only way everything goes back to creating more good jobs and bringing good jobs back to the district. That's the only way that's going to happen. You're talking to someone that actually opened up her own daycare in her basement apartment at the age of 23. I'm 46 years old right now. I became a small business owner at the age of 23 years old. And I also put my way through school. You can do the same thing too. It's okay to be a small business owner. That's the only way we're going to get that job done is we bring more good jobs back to the community. We have to get that done. That's the only way.
Mr. Davis.
I think we should take a very serious look at what is causing wages and things to go up. Wages, not wages so much, but what is causing our grocery bills to go up? What is causing our housing bill to go up? We need to look at that very seriously and make sure that the increase is not something that should not be. We need to make sure that the people that are bringing us the goods and services can do it in the most efficient and effective manner, and then we can look at the possibility of lowering the costs that we see at the grocery stores and at housing.
Commissioner Gilbert.
Thank you. One of the things that we could do is actually have a Congress that stops the president from going to war all by himself. I'm at the gas tank and I'm pumping gas and it just keeps on going and going and going and going. I'm at the grocery store, the same bread went up, the same eggs went up. It's the same thing. But that's because we have a president who can take us to war whenever he wants and be surprised when the price of oil goes up. We have a president who can implement tariffs whenever he wants and pretends like we're not the people who are actually going to pay for that. A part of our problem is that we're not actually doing our job as a country right now. Hold the president accountable. There's a constitution. Let's actually live by it. Thank you.
Senator Jones.
So I actually agree with my colleague, and that is that America doesn't have a money problem. America has a spending problem. What I saw yesterday when I was knocking on doors, I met a woman named Ms. Roberts, whose husband who just passed away, and now she's having to decide between whether she can pay her mortgage or whether she's gonna have to find somewhere to live. That is a government that is working against its own people. The one thing I'll tell you is that, to agree with my colleague, is that the fact that the President of the United States will continue to go in these unnecessary wars and spend unnecessary money, and you know whose money that is? That's your money. So yes, we do need a Congress that's not just going to pull back on how we are spending our money, but who's also going to check a president who thinks he's God or who thinks he's king of the United States of America. We must keep our foot on the prowl for a president who has lost control to make sure we can bring relief back to the people of the United States of America and to District 24.
Mr. Meek.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to make sure y'all are paying attention. They didn't actually answer the question. They talked about Trump and a lot of other things, but they didn't talk about what they'll do to lower the cost of living. So let me tell you what I'll do. I'd lower the cost of gas by suspending the federal gas tax as soon as I get to Congress on day one. I would make sure that we support Medicare for all, so regardless of whether you have a job or not, you can afford your health care. And I'll make sure that we provide free child care so that young families, young people can afford to have a full-time job, but also make sure their kids are educated. So that's what I do, and I hope that we actually discuss the issues instead of talking about Trump and other things.
Commissioner Monestein.
We're talking about lowering inflation. Why do we have inflation in the first place? Is the fact that income is not keeping pace with expenses. We're spending more than we're earning. The first thing I want to do is enact laws which allows the federal government to pay for people re-educating themselves, retraining themselves as a worker. Because until we become more competitive, we won't be able to earn more money. That's the first thing. Second, of course, we need to reduce government waste. We need to do that. One thing I encouraged the county to do when I was chairman of the board, we passed an ordinance entitled Bend the Box. if someone is qualified for a job, don't just kick them out of the door because you see something on their resume that you don't like. Allow them to be interviewed for that position. If you do that,
Thank you, Commissioner
thank you so very
Modesty.
much, we'll reduce inflation.
Thank you. Mr. Vereen,
If I may hear the question again, I was behind the curtain.
how would you address inflation and rising cost of living?
All right. Well, if you talk to any economist, they will tell you that in order to lower inflation, you have to lower the demand for goods and services. And so this is what we have now. When you hear them talking about Trump and going to wars, that money's coming from a different pot. That does not cause inflation at all. So when you look at the amount of services that are being offered and the demand for those services and those goods, inflation goes up. You have to lower the demand for those services and goods to where they balance out. The problem with that is that if you lower them too low, you can cause job layoffs, you can cause other services to go up, social services will go up, demand for housing can go up. So you have to make very sure that when you try to balance out the demands for services as well as the goods, that you don't cause it to be an imbalance. So any economist will tell you that. And so this whole thing about Trump and wars, that's fine and dandy, but that money does not come out of the pot of the citizens.
Thank you, Mr. Vereen.
When we're talking about affordability, one of the issues that comes up is being able to pay your rent. Rent in South Florida now eats up more than half the paycheck for many working families. What is the single most important action Congress can take in the next 2 years to lower the cost of living for residents of this district? And we begin with you, candidate Vereen.
Let me say this. In 1994, I was living over in North Bay Village. I lived in a penthouse on the 26th floor. The rent was $1,200. I got ready to buy the place. They wanted to sell it for $151,000. 2 years later, I moved out of there. That rent now is $3,600 for the same unit. The government can come in and set caps on how much rent can be charged in any area. Right now, Florida is the most expensive state to reside in. You would think it would be California, you would think it would be New York. The land in Florida, for some reason, has gone sky high. So there can be some legislation, I would guess at this point, that can set a cap on what can be charged in particular areas. But right now, realtors have a right to make as much money as they can. We saw that with COVID, right? Then all of a sudden, government came in and said, you know, there's certain things you can do, certain things you can't do, you can't charge during this period.
Thank you, candidate Vereen. Next, we'll hear from candidate Meek.
It's all right, we're skipping steps. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would expand the low-income housing tax credit so that we build more affordable housing in places like South Florida. We're in a serious housing emergency, and I don't think it's because, housing is obviously expensive, but we just need more of it, right? So the federal government can do that by making sure that we have the adequate funding to do that. On top of that, I'd also make sure that corporate landlords can't increase rent beyond the rate of inflation, so that's 5%. I think in the past 10 years, we've seen rents increase by 50%. So that would slow that down, certainly, and it would certainly give all of us relief. I'm a renter myself. I think 60% of folks in Miami-Dade County are renters, and I think it's 50% in Broward County as well. We've got to protect our community, so that's exactly what I'll do in Congress.
Thank you, candidate. Now we'll hear from you, candidate Gilbert.
Well, I'm a homeowner, and I pay a mortgage. And one of the things that I noticed that a lot of folks are paying rent, and they could actually be paying a mortgage. The problem is that you can't get into the loan. One of the things that Congress can do is we can change the requirements in the loan instruments for FHA to make it easier for you to actually become a homeowner, so you're not just renting. You're not paying somebody else's loan. You're actually owning something. That's one of the first things we can do. The long term, we have got to master supply and demand. Look, we don't have enough housing, and we have too many people who want it, so the price is going to be higher. If we allow people to build more, if people can build more, then you can bring the price down. That's the long-term answer. The short-term answer is actually using the tools that are available to you right now to turn some of those renters into homeowners, and Congress can do that on day one. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from you, Candidate Brown. Yes.
Can you repeat the question?
Rent in South Florida now eats up more than half the paycheck of many working families. What is the single most important action Congress can take in the next 2 years to lower the cost of living for residents of this district?
The first thing, I'm a homeowner and I'm a renter. I can say this, that we need to build more affordable homes. And I'm not talking about affordable, the affordable I'm talking about is going according to your paycheck. I'm a real estate developer. I build only new construction homes. I have a program that I implement myself called BYOH, Build Your Own Home. If you're not prepared to purchase your home at this time, you're going to build your home. We're going to get you on a plan that's going to bring you into home ownership, because everybody out here wants to see their name on a deed. I don't care what you say. We was taught that from our ancestors, from our grandmothers, from our great-grandmothers, that we supposed to have a piece of land. Land is not cheap. So the only thing that we can do is cut the red tape, talk to these different governments so we can change the permitting value, so we can change the zoning, so we can bring more homes back in this district, so every one of you, from your children and your grandchildren and your children's children, can become homeowners. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. Get to your local government and start working.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from you, Candidate Monestein.
Actually, this is my area of expertise. To reduce rent, we have to do three things. First of all, as congressman, I'll make sure that Congress enact a law that mirror what I approve as a county commission, the Tenant Bill of Rights. Anybody remembers that? The Tenant Bills of Rights. I sponsored that on the county commission. So Congress needs to mirror that. Second thing is that people are paying more for rent right now than they may be paying for a mortgage. I'll make sure that the government, the federal government, takes first-time home buyer out of the market from commercial mortgage companies and also from bank. I'll ask Congress to enact laws that cap first-time home buyer mortgage rate at 3% or less. If you do that, more people that are paying for rent right now will be able to purchase home, and that makes home available for additional renters. That solves the problem.
Thank you, Candidate Monestein. Next, we'll hear from Candidate Davis.
I think the dignity of owning a home is something that needs to be afforded to everyone. I think Congress needs to act on this. Not one person, not one congressman can do that. We're going to have to cross the lines and make sure that we get this done for our community. We need to stop what is going on currently, where the land that was given by the government, many times local, to build affordable housing was built for houses that are not affordable. We need to make sure that we're checking that out, and that we're holding these people accountable who did not build as they should have built, and build something that that's creating a problem for us here now. So housing should be affordable. We need to make sure that the federal government is doing their part with the loans for first home buyers, and we should have the dignity of owning a home. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from you, Candidate Jones.
Let's address the elephant in the room. First of all, we need to stop corporations for buying up our communities and calling affordable housing. The second thing we need to make clear, I'm sure people are making paychecks, but people's paychecks are not matching up with the cost of living. So let's make sure we clear that up. The last thing I'll say, when we get to Congress, we have to expand the housing tax credit program. That is a no-brainer. No one sitting in this room should have to deal with whether or not you can pay your rent and you working 2 and 3 jobs to take care of your families. It is abysmal. That is, once again, a government that is working against the people and not working for the people.
As we mentioned at the beginning, we were going into a quick round of rapid fire questions. These are yes or no questions, folks. Very simply, very straightforward. You'll hear your name called. Please say yes or no so that the audience can hear you and the folks viewing online can hear you, and we'll keep moving forward. Each of us will be asking 2 rapid fire questions apiece and going through the candidates. Everyone understand? All right, here we go. First question is, do you support the extension of temporary protective status for Haitian immigrants and other impacted folks? Starting with candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
No.
Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
Yes.
Candidate Modesty.
Yes.
Candidate Vereen. Yes. All right.
All right. Next rapid fire question. Candidates, are you ready?
Yes.
Do you support full cancellation of all outstanding federal student loan debt? Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
Yes.
Candidate Modesty.
Yes.
Candidate Vereen. Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
No.
So if we can just quiet down. And I'm going to remind our audience that we would love to hear from the candidates tonight. It should be about them. Our next rapid fire question is this for all the candidates here. Do you support a universal background check requirement for all gun purchases? Candidate Vereen?
Yes.
Candidate Davis?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. Could you repeat it, please?
Do you support a universal background check requirement for all gun purchases?
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert?
Yes.
Candidate Jones?
Yes.
Candidate Meek?
Yes.
Candidate Monestein?
Yes.
Candidate Brown?
No.
So we're going to take a quick break and allow the candidates a moment to get some water and regroup. And we will come back in just a moment, in 2 minutes.
Hello, my name is Linwoy Biggs. I am a senior here at the Florida Memorial University, majoring in finance with a minor in business administration. I'm a first-generation international student hailing all the way from the British Virgin Islands. I am extremely grateful for the UNCF with their assistance with this scholarship. It has helped my mother alleviate some of the financial pressure which we as international students face, having to pay out of pocket. However, it has also helped me to reach one step closer to my goal of becoming a financial advisor. When you give, you make dreams like mine possible.
It's a great day to be a Lion. I am Joy McMillan, a rising junior here at Florida Memorial University, majoring in law and government. Hailing from the big city of attractions, Orlando, Florida, Florida Memorial University has become the biggest attraction in my life. As a freshman, coming onto campus and experiencing the HBCU culture, it was truly inspiring and life-changing. As I stand here today as a junior, over the years I've emerged as a prominent student leader among my peers. I've had the privilege to be elected as the Student Government Association Vice President for the 2025-2026 school year. These accomplishments have not only left a mark on me, but also my family. My mother was inspired to further her education and obtain her bachelor's. This is leaving a legacy to forge forward in my family. When you give, you make dreams like mine possible.
Greetings, I am Carnicia Patton, a senior major in psychology from the beautiful city of Orlando, Florida. I currently serve as the Pre-Alumni Council President, and I want to help other students learn about the fellowships, scholarships, and programs that UNCF offers. UNCF has helped me overcome my academic challenges and getting cleared at my HBCU. Thank you so much to the UNCF partners and the UNCF e-board for allowing me to make it this far.
Or celebration. Thank you. Please hold your applauses. Hey, how many has been to a county commission meeting? Show of hands, right? You know you don't go in there doing all that clapping and all that. So, right? Let us think like we're at the school board or we're at the county commission or City of Miami Gardens Council meeting, Opelika, West Park. If we are in agreement, let me see those hands. Them jazz hands, throw them up, right? That's what we want to hear, see. None of that other stuff, okay? Let us use some town hall decorum. We've been doing very, very good. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Great job. So we are going to implement the decorum that we use at our various commission meetings. If you are in agreement, you're using your jazz hands, okay? And if you're still thinking about the response, just think about it, okay? After we wrap up with our questions, you know, these individuals are still candidates tomorrow, right? They're still candidates tomorrow. So you have that opportunity to express your concern or whatever else that may be. But we want to make certain that we get through tonight in a spirit of unity. Let's give it up for unity. Okay, unity. It takes courage to run for office and especially to lead people. Would you agree? So let us all be mindful as everyone is speaking and responding that we allow them to speak and use the decorum that you would use if you were in County Hall or any council meeting. We're going to turn it back over to our moderators at this time. Thank you.
All right, we are back, candidates. And again, as I mentioned before the break, we're going to go into another quick second round of rapid fire questions where each moderator will pose a question. After that, though, we will be moving into additional moderated questions, going back to the 1 minute format. So just naming that that's where we are. Everyone good? All right. So next rapid fire question. Do you support the federal legalization of marijuana? Do you support the federal legalization of marijuana? Starting with candidate Vereen.
Yes.
All right. Candidate Modesty.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
Yes.
Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
No.
All right. Thank you.
Drugs.
Thank you, candidates. Should abortion access be protected by federal law without exceptions? Commissioner Gilbert.
Yes.
Senator Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Meek.
Yes.
Commissioner Modesty.
Yes.
Mr. Vereen. Yes. Ms. Brown.
No.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Candidates, would you be supportive of enshrining the John Lewis Voting Rights Act into law? Candidate Modestine?
What's the question, please?
Would you be supportive of enshrining the John Lewis Voting Rights Act into
Most
law?
definitely. Yes.
Candidate Meek?
Absolutely.
Candidate Jones?
Yes.
Candidate Vereen?
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert?
Yes.
Candidate Davis?
Yes.
Candidate Brown?
Yes.
All right, folks. We have limited time. We're going to jump right back into it. I'm going to throw it to my moderator,
So we're going
Attorney
to,
R. Scott.
thank you. Senator Bullard, I'm sorry. I'm over here. Okay, I got jazz hands. All right. So we're going to get into education now. So as y'all know, Florida has an interesting stance on education, banning several books. Florida's enacted a series of laws restricting curricula on race, gender, and history. Would you support or oppose federal legislation to establish minimum standards that can and cannot be taught, of what can and cannot be taught in public schools? Mr. Meek.
I would absolutely support policies that would make sure that we get an adequate education for our children, that they understand the history of this country so that they can also understand how to change this country and make it better. And look, if states don't want to comply with those laws, then they don't get their federal funding. I think we just need to take that tact, and that's how we prepare our kids for the future.
Thank you, Candidate Meek. Candidate Gilbert.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, what we've seen here in Florida, we really shouldn't see anywhere in the country. We've seen an ideology of hatred and division actually creep into our classrooms and try to actually resegregate us. But we know what our kids need. We know the education they need. We know what we're going to have to do to actually be competitive, to actually create the next economy. So why don't we actually incentivize those things as standards? Why don't we actually do something that's really innovative? Why don't we pay teachers like we pay police officers? Why don't we do that? Why don't we incentivize school districts and states that actually have curriculums that will actually graduate you either career ready or life ready? Why don't we incentivize school districts and states that say, hey, you know what? We actually value educators, and we're not just saying it. We pay for what we value, and so we're going to pay for it. Let's do that. Thank you.
Candidate Vereen.
I never learned Greek history in school. I never learned Italian history in school. I never learned Spanish history in school. Education starts at home. There's nothing wrong with teaching your children about their culture, about their history. There's nothing wrong with allowing it to be taught in school. I think the school should teach everybody's history. So I'm not as offended when I hear, oh, they're not allowing these books that pertain to this or those books that pertain to that. If you're going to teach the kids, teach them everything. Don't be selective with regard to what you're teaching them. We want to build these students up so they understand how this world works. If we keep segregating them away from education and things that they need to learn, they grow up stupid. Kids are computers. Let's put as much RAM in them as we can. We want them to know about the world. We want them to know about each other. How else are we going to have unity?
Thank you, Mr. Vereen. But don't leave. Don't leave. We have a follow-up. Thank you. So just to clarify, Mr. Vereen, would you support legislation that would issue a minimum standard of what is going to be taught in schools?
Yes.
Thank you. Candidate Monestein.
I don't think education should be censored at whatever level, except for grade school, elementary school, because I believe that the standard for a strong democracy is first a good education, civil rights, and human rights. So I would support access to education from the 3rd grade all the way to 4-year college, funded by the federal government, because every child being raised in this country deserves a good education if they want to follow that track. Otherwise, we need to make sure they are properly trained for the workforce if that's the course that they want to follow. Thank you so very much.
Candidate Brown.
I support limited government when it comes down to education. As an educator myself that's homeschooling her children, there are certain things that need to be done in the school system, that the funding should be taken care of with the federal government. And that should be basic reading, math, social studies, all those good things. I'm saying that because back from where I'm from, which is the Chicago, we learned, that's how I know Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, okay, through history. But I was also taught by that too by my grandmother and my mom. So with that being said, I believe that the government should be limited in what your children, what you want your children to learn. It should be limited. You should have control. Parents should have control of what their children are learning. And if it's something inside the school systems that need to be done, they should notify the parents. And parents should have the opportunity to opt out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Please come back to the stage. Thank you. So you are opposed to...
So I am not supporting it.
I'm sorry, can you let me finish the question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. So you are opposed to minimum federal standards, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Candidate Davis.
Thanks for the question. There's too much limitation placed on allowing the teacher to teach. I think the teacher should have the right to teach whatever needs to be taught. But I do believe in parents' rights. So that's a library card. If you don't want your child to read certain books, your library card don't allow you to take out those books. Real simple. I think testing should not be at the end of a course, but at the beginning. We should find out what skills our child don't have and what skills they need to develop. And the curriculum should be designed to make sure those children acquire those skills. So we can have standards, but those standards must be so that the system is making sure the child can meet those standards and can perform, and when they leave school after 12th grade, they can get a job.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
So I'm gonna start off so I don't get the follow-up. Yes, I support it, all right? But I'm also the only person that's sitting on this stage that has been locked in a classroom with 30 kids. I'm the only person that's on this stage that can say that our teachers are not pawns and that our teachers are underpaid and no teacher should not be censored on what they teach and how they teach our children. Why? Our teachers are not just qualified and taught in how they should teach our children, but our teachers go through rigorous training and what it looks like when they're bringing curriculum before our students. The fact that we are having a question of whether or not we should teach African American history is abysmal in this country. And the last thing I'll make it clear is this. Know where all of this started. It started right here in the state of Florida. People like myself, Ashley Gant, and other individuals, we fought Governor Ron DeSantis in Tallahassee to make it clear that black history is an American history. And the last thing I'll make clear, the fact that we are about to celebrate 250 years, black folk was a part of those 250 years.
Candidates, your next question. Candidates, your next question. Do you support expanding federal funding for charter schools and school voucher programs? If so, how would you ensure that such expansion does not come at the expense of traditional public school funding? We'll begin with you, Candidate Gilbert.
No, I don't. No, I don't support federal funding for expanding voucher programs. And the reason why is because it's impossible to do it without actually making public education the actual victim. Listen, we know we have to invest in a system that's going to literally educate 80–90% of the students in this country. We know we have to invest in that system. We can't invest in anything else from an education perspective until we take care of public education and public educators. That's what we have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from you, Candidate Vereen.
I join. I do. I agree with that. I don't think federal dollars should be coming down here and going to charter schools. That's parents, when they make that decision to put their children in charter schools, what they're saying is that I don't need the federal dollars. And so those federal dollars need to be well spent on these public schools, all right? Because these public schools, especially the ones I've been going to lately, and I don't know who's been seeing me on the internet, but if they have, then you know that I just spent $17,000 out my own pockets to buy sports machines for Carroll City, New Orleans Central, Northwestern, and Booker T because they didn't have certain machines. So if the federal dollars were getting down here and there was some transparency, we could find out exactly where the money's going, these public schools would be in a lot better position than they are now. So when a parent chooses to put this child in a charter school, I can understand why, because they think that there's different money over there. But federal dollars go to the public schools, and that's where it should remain.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from candidate Monestein.
I don't think and I don't believe that the federal government or any the public school system.
Thank you. And next we'll hear from you, candidate Davis.
So I believe in public schools. I went to public schools, and I think they should be funded appropriately. I think there should be set goals for the funding, how that money is going to be spent to make sure that that child is being educated. A lot of people are leaving the school educational system, not because of the teachers or the principals, but because of the strain that government have on schools that direct them in a way that they cannot really do the job preparing school students for life.
Next we'll hear from you, candidate Jones.
I join the chorus in saying, yes, federal dollars should fund our public school system. But I also will say this, that within the federal government, when those federal dollars hit our state, we should make sure that they're actually going into our public schools. The federal government should make sure that when those dollars that should go into public education system, if they're not reaching those school districts, the federal government should bypass those states who don't want to give those dollars to public schools and send them directly to the school districts to make sure that they fund our public education system.
Next we'll hear from you, candidate Brown.
I'm a homeschool mom, but this is the thing, more money has not fixed the problem, and we all know that. We begin federal funding for public schools for a very long time. It has not fixed the problem, and this is the reason why I became a homeschool mom. I opened my own Montessori school because we need to fund the students. Every child is different. Every child has a different way of learning. This is the reason why we need to fund the students and not the actual school system. This is why we need those vouchers for our children. Stop thinking about the bureaucracy and the status quo. We're talking about our children, our kids. That is what we need. So that's it.
Thank you. We'll hear from you now, candidate Meek.
Thank you. And no, I would not use federal dollars to fund charter schools and voucher programs. I would use it instead to make sure that we pay our teachers, that we keep our public schools open, and that we prepare our kids for the economy of the future.
Thank you.
So community colleges like Miami-Dade College and HBCUs like Florida Memorial right here serve a large portion of this district's student population in the higher ed space. What federal investments would you prioritize to make sure that our higher educational institutions are strengthened? And we'll start with Mr. Davis.
I think every institution has to be looked at for what it needs. All institutions are not the same, but certainly the money should be given to instructions. The money should be given to equipment. The money should be given to anything that's going to make learning more available, more efficient, more effective.
Thank you. Senator Jones.
So one thing I'll say is our higher education system right here in the state of Florida is probably one of the best higher education systems that we have in the country. Excuse me. The one thing that we are missing out on is the proper funding of our historically black colleges and universities. As a graduate of Florida A&M University and all the HBCUs that we have here within our state, we must begin to fund our HBCUs the same way that we fund our PWIs. Why am I saying that? Because specifically within this district, our students who are attending these HBCUs, many of them are leaving our college system with debt, and when they get out and they get into their homes, they cannot pay their rent, and so guess what? They have to do like I did, and they have to live with their parents. So we have to make sure that the money that we're giving to our higher education system is done in a way for our students that when they graduate, that they're not leaving to go to Tennessee. They're not leaving to go to Georgia. They're not leaving to go to any other state, but they're staying right here in the state of Florida. Why? Because they're receiving their investments right here in the state of Florida, and that's what we should be doing for higher education.
Commissioner Monestein.
You see, we're currently educating our students to become debtors in our community. So because they leave college with a huge debt, that's exactly why I support the federal government paying for education for our children from the age of 3 all the way to a 4-year of college if this child chooses to follow that track. Otherwise, we can pay to train or retrain that child. So we need to invest in every college program where children want to have a 4-year degree. To do that, we need to incentivize teachers and professors. We need to pay for research to facilitate the learning of those who may need additional time or additional investment. But the federal government, just like any other major country that is economically viable, should pay to educate its citizens, because that's the foundation of a strong democracy.
Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown.
Okay, so I think that we need to lower the cost of college. We need to change that. I graduated from a private sector, Roosevelt University, but I also wanted to come to a HBCU. I couldn't afford it. Why? Because I had a baby at 17, right? My own choice, not my mom's. I come from a really good family. But the reason why I'm saying that is because going back to skills and training and apprenticeship programs, they need to be respected just as well as universities as well. Going back to everyone learns different. So if we can lower the cost of universities, then maybe that can help us as well. That's my answer.
Thank you. Mr. Meek.
So I would make sure that our public schools are affordable. I think private schools have huge endowments. They can afford to run themselves. And beyond that, we need to make sure that we fund our HBCUs. They've educated a lot of the folks in this room, including my father and my grandmother, and they're going to educate the next generation of our leaders. So it's important that we make investments in public schools and in HBCUs.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilbert.
So the first name of FAMU was a normal college for colored students. FAMU, like a lot of land-grant institutions, were actually created to actually provide an education to an underserved population. That's the same motivation behind community colleges. People who couldn't get an education, we were going to make sure they were able to get an education. We should honor the spirit of their creation and absolutely invest more money. I think we're right. We know that HBCU specifically has been shortchanged throughout the years. We can actually fix that. And when people say, listen, more money won't fix problems, let's just try it. Let's just try it. They haven't tried it yet. So let's just try more money, because more money fixes my problems sometimes. More money gonna fix y'all problems sometimes. More money will offer more degrees. It'll offer better financial aid. It'll offer better classrooms and lower education. More money might actually help. Thank you all very much.
Mr. Vereen.
There's been a stain on this country since blacks first were brought here. And what we were stripped of back then was our education, our voice, our language. And so PWIs didn't want us in the university, so we had to start our own, right? I think we need to pass the Reparations Act of 2026. But we know that's not going to happen. But I think if you can establish that you're an African American, that your tuition should be free. I think that the government should be required to pay $250 million to every HBCU in the country. So let that $250 stand for something. They took it away from us, let's make them give it back.
We appreciate that, and we're going to move into another set of rapid-fire questions from the moderators. But before we get into those, just a reminder for folks, you should have gotten a 3x5 index card if you had a question. We'll be getting into audience questions in just a moment, or at least trying to get through some of them. Let me be honest, before we close the night out. But we'll start with rapid fire.
Do you support term limits for members of Congress? Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time.
Do you support term limits for members of Congress?
Yes.
Candidate Modesty.
Yes.
Candidate Vereen.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidates, the next question is, should the United States continue to provide military and financial support to Israel? Candidate Brown.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
No.
Candidate Monestein. Candidate Vereen.
Yes.
All right. So sorry, I lost my place in the questions. All right. Do you believe climate change is an
Existential.
I promise I'm a public school grad. I knew that. Existential threat requiring urgent federal action. So again, do you believe that climate change is an existential threat requiring urgent federal action, starting with Ms.
No.
Brown?
No.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Kenneth Gilbert?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes.
Modesty? Vereen?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Do you support Medicare for all? Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
No.
Candidate Vereen.
Yes.
Candidate Monestein.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
Yes.
Candidate Jones.
Yes.
The next question. Should Congress codify the right to same-sex marriage in the federal law? Candidate Vereen.
Yes.
Candidate Meek.
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yes.
Candidate Davis.
Yes.
Candidate Jones.
Yes.
Candidate Monestein.
Yes.
Candidate Brown.
No.
And last rapid fire question, do you commit to transparency when it comes to who is funding your campaign? Will you show us who is giving you your dollars, starting with candidate Vereen?
Yes.
Candidate Monestein?
Yes.
Candidate Meek?
Yes.
Candidate Jones?
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert?
Yes.
Candidate Davis?
Yes.
Candidate Brown?
Yes.
All right. We are...
Okay, candidates, now we're going to address issues dealing with voter rights and access, election integrity and public trust, campaign finance, and government ethics. And the first question I have for you, for the candidates, do you accept the results of the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections as certified by the states and federal court? Candidate Brown.
Repeat that for me, please.
Sure. Do you accept the results of the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections as certified by the states and federal court?
Yes.
Candidate Brown?
Yes.
Candidate Gilbert?
Yes.
Candidate Meek?
Yes.
Candidate Davis?
Yes.
Candidate Jones?
Yes.
Candidate Monestein?
Yes.
Candidate Vereen?
Yes.
No, that's fine.
All right, so we are going to ask this question here. All right, so Florida has, in recent years, actually very recently, passed restrictive voter ID requirements, reduced early voting days, and conducted voter roll purges. The federal government, of course, has the SAVE Act sitting in Congress now that would, again, further restrict those ID requirements. What, if anything, would you do at the federal level in response to clear acts of voter suppression? Starting with candidate Jones.
First of all, it's a shame that we're even having this conversation about the most sacred right of this country, and that's voting. And the first thing that I would do is join any caucus. I would join anyone in supporting the John Lewis Act. Period, point blank, end of story. So that's the first thing that I would do, period. That's it.
Candidate Vereen.
That's the topic that's going around now, the John Lewis Act, and that is the act that people need to know about that protects from that type of discrimination. So the John Lewis Act gets passed, then the question you ask would be nil because the laws will be protecting you.
Candidate Meek.
I would not only support the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act, and just for your all's information, I actually helped pass the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act when I worked at the House Judiciary Committee in Washington. But on top of that, I would make sure that every single American citizen has a free federal ID, whether that be a passport or a regular card that you can fit in your wallet, so that no state can ever deny a voter again because they don't have ID.
Candidate Modestine.
The John Lewis Voting Rights Act is the first step. I would advocate, support, co-sponsor for the passage of this act. And let's be reminded that in a democracy, we should allow one vote for every man, for every woman. I fled a dictatorship where I was born to come here. So my determination is to continue to fight for democracy on this land that have adopted me as a son.
Candidate Brown.
The question was about the Save America Act. Am I right? Can you repeat it for me? I just wanted to make sure I heard it loud.
Absolutely. So Florida, in recent years, including this past session, enacted voter ID requirements, has reduced early voting days, and conducted voter roll purges. We also have the SAVE Act in Congress. What, if anything, would you do at the federal level in response to clear voter suppression?
The first thing I would do is I would support the SAVE Act. And the reason why I would support the SAVE Act is because, the Save America Act, I would support that because it stops voter fraud. It stops illegal immigrants to actually vote. That is the reason why, this is the reason, thank you. This is the reason why it was implemented. It's because we want American citizens to vote only. That is the reason why this act is going forward. For American citizens to come vote only. You will be able to show your ID, show your birth certificate, just like when we go on a cruise. If you don't have a passport, you can go on a cruise with your ID and a birth certificate, and you're able to go on the cruise, get off of the land in another country, and come back on. We're asking that you use the same identification just to show the vote, so we can make sure that we stop voter suppression. Thank you.
Ms. Brown, just a quick follow-up, if you don't mind.
Follow-up, I'm sorry.
Just a quick follow-up. So Florida has also passed its own version of the SAVE Act this past session. Are you also
in support of that? Yes, I am.
All right, thank you. Candidate Davis.
I do support the John Lewis Act, but I think more than an act, it should be a constitutional amendment. We've been through this act before with the Civil Rights Voting Act. It was canceled out. We didn't make sure that this is a firm part of our Constitution. There need to be a constitutional amendment to assure voting acts.
And Commissioner Gilbert.
Yeah, I support the John Lewis Voter Protection Act, and I'm against the SAVE Act. And let's just call it what it is, right? It's just another barrier to voting. That's all it is. Before they had dogs and tests and poll taxes, and now they want to have passports, even though it takes you like 6 months to get a passport, and it's expensive. It's just another poll tax. This is dressed up bias. This is dressed up discrimination. We know what it is. We've seen it before, and we're not going back. Thank you.
This will be our final question from the moderators before we move into the questions from the audience. Dark money or undisclosed political spending now dominates federal elections. Would you support legislation requiring full disclosure of all political donors? And do you support overturning or limiting Citizens United? Candidate Jones.
First of all, we just saw today what the Supreme Court just ruled on, and which was a slap in the face to American people, to this question that we're asking right now, to where you have billionaires and millionaires can continue to fund our campaigns. So that's the problem that we're having. The Supreme Court, the highest place in the land, has just told American people that anybody can fund these campaigns, and wherever they come from, they can continue to fund, and it doesn't matter. So we have people who are going to buy elections, and you, the people, your vote basically don't matter. So yes, I do support us reeling back in because the people absolutely need to know. They should know how money is being spent, and we should not be spending money, billions of dollars, just to elect individuals. The people should be electing the people.
Candidate Brown.
Well, I support, I believe every dollar should be shown. I don't care where it comes from. It should be shown. Because just like we just had the SPLC on the Senate, at the Senate committee hearing, right? That was just exposed of the KKK giving money to the Democrats and all this different type of stuff, right? So the Republicans do the same. The Republicans, it doesn't, let me finish. Let me finish.
Finish your comment, folks.
Let me finish. Let me just finish, guys. I'm almost through. It's not going to take a quick, just let me finish. Regardless of the fact of a Republican or a Democrat, we still need to see where the money is coming from, regardless. Because you, like he said, I agree with him, you have billions of dollars that is being funded to these campaigns, where you have self-funding people who are doing their best to make sure that the word get out, when it should be you, the voters, that's actually the one who actually, so no, we don't want anybody buying elections. We want people to see every dollar that is going inside every campaign account. So I'm in agreement.
Candidate Vereen.
Y'all remember when Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, was giving his State of the Union, and Chief Roberts was sitting in front, and this is the time that the Supreme Court had came and said, you can start a PAC and you can give a bunch of money to the PAC, and Barack Obama told them this was a mistake, and he said that he shook his head at Barack Obama. Y'all remember that? Well, this now, the Supreme Court had just said, you can give unlimited dollars now into a PAC. And guess what else he said? The PAC can talk to the candidate to ask us, where do you want us to spend that money? Now that the Supreme Court, which is the highest law of the land, has spoken, the only ones that can change that is Congress. So Congress has to write a new law now that says you cannot do that. You understand? All money should be transparent. You have a right to know who the special interest individuals are or corporations are and who they're given to. Yeah. Because then you know that that person has been bought. True? Shakespeare said, to thy own self be true.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Candidate Vereen. Thank you. Candidate Meek.
I would absolutely introduce legislation to close the dark money loophole and make sure that any money spent on an election, the donors for those operations are disclosed. I also want to be careful because there are people on the stage that have super PACs that are actively influencing this election. One of those super PACs is actually financed by a contractor at Alligator Alcatraz. And they took $70,000 from this particular contractor, and they're spending it in this race. So make sure you do your research and stay woke.
Oh, thank you. Whoa.
Candidate Monestein.
Yes, campaign finance should be further regulated. Dark money should be disclosed. That's the end.
Right.
Because campaign should be fair.
Yeah.
All right? Communicating to the voters should be fair game.
Yes.
Dark money should be reported, and campaign finance should be further regulated. And I would support, advocate, and support legislation that do that.
Candidate Davis.
I too concur that dark money, all money should be reported. We should know exactly where it came from. Some of this money is actually coming from overseas. And we need to stop this immediately. We need to have fair elections, that we know where the money comes from and what that candidate is probably going to, how he's going to serve based on the funds that he received. Thank you.
Good.
Candidate Gilbert.
Thank you. I support full transparency. Look, you get to know who gave money, and you get to make a assessment. So you get to know whether contractors gave money, or you get to know whether you have candidates who are using their family connections to actually go to Washington and beg for money. You get to know that too. Because, and if we want to be, then I reclaim some time here.
All right, folks. All right.
So let's just be clear about what we're talking about here right now. The Supreme Court said speech is money. I disagree with that. But in this room right now, we're full of Democrats except for one person. And we've been arguing that that's not right. Instead of actually saying we need to actually use the system to beat them. Let's get out of this loop of losing. We lost Congress, we lost the presidency, we lost the Senate because we said it wasn't right and we didn't play. What I'm saying is this. I'm saying if you send me to Congress, yeah, I'll make everything transparent. I'll win and I'll actually put forth legislation that supports all of your values and all of your rights.
Thank you, Candidate Gilbert.
All right, folks, we are winding down. We only have a few minutes left, and we want to try and get through as many of the audience questions as we can. All right. Yes, because we had several. All right, so off bat, question from the audience. Do you as a candidate support the proposed Florida property tax amendment that will be appearing on November's ballot? If so, why or why not? Starting with Candidate Brown.
Sorry. I do support it. I support it because it's going to give us opportunity to actually save. Going back to what I said earlier with the question. Hold on a second. I'll be available afterwards for people to ask a lot of questions because I'm sure that some of the answers that you guys that I said are probably just like why, but it's okay. But yeah, I do support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
I think we need to examine all these laws very closely, make sure they're in our best interest. I'm not sure that this particular law is in our best interest, and right now I can't say I support it.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilbert.
Yeah, look, I know it's probably gonna pass. Because people I don't wanna pay property taxes. I don't support it. Okay. Look, when they talk about what's essential services, a lot of the stuff we do in Dade County that after school programs for kids, keeps them off the streets so they don't get arrested, that's not essential to them. A lot of stuff we do that we pay for out of the general fund, like actually paying for seniors to have meals, we supplement that. That's not essential to them. A lot of stuff we subsidize 89 cents out of every transportation dollar. Because people wouldn't actually be able to afford to take the bus to work if we didn't pay for most of it, but that's not essential to them. It really looks good, and we do need some tax relief. I am a homeowner, I pay taxes, and it's too much. But I know the cost of actually implementing this is far too great. It's dangerous. I'm not supporting that. Thank you.
Senator Jones.
Simple answer, no, I do not support it. I'll say that what happened in Tallahassee, this has been in the works for quite some time if you have been following what Governor DeSantis has been doing. But the second thing I'll make clear is, why would anybody want to support anything that you're trying to take away the basic services that you receive, your fire, your schools, and other things that the state of Florida have already pulled funding away from us on? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Just yesterday, the governor brought out his veto list. You know what? If we eliminate homestead property taxes, you know who we're going to have to lean on to get that extra money? From the state or the federal government. A state that is already not funding properly a district that desperately needs infrastructure and other services. Yeah, not only just vote no, vote hell no when it comes to that
amendment. Mr. Meek.
No, I don't and support the item this fall. I think that our local governments are the backbone of our communities. As a proud child of 2 public employees, I know that our public employees are, again, they're our family members, they're our friends, they're the folks that keep our community running. And this item would absolutely devastate our local governments. But on top of that, we need to make sure that our elected officials on local level actually lower property taxes instead of eliminating them entirely. And there are folks on this stage that can actually do that tomorrow if they wanted to, but why they haven't done that already, I'm not quite sure.
Commissioner Monestein.
The answer is twofold. As currently introduced, the answer is no. But there is a good compromise that I would offer on a bill like this. If you are an elderly, a senior on Social Security, a disabled person, and your home is valued under $500,000, yes, providing that the government will put a millage on the property values, on the properties that are worth over $2 million. That's a great compromise. But as the bill could currently stand, no.
Ken Avery. Ken Avery. You didn't see the flow?
Listen, anytime a politician saves you a lot of money, something is in. All right. So, listen, I would love to support where I don't have to pay property taxes. I got big properties and they cost me a lot of money every year. But I'm that type of candidate that I call the foxhole candidate. I'm going to fall on the sword. Because if there's going to be the elderly that's going to be deprived of certain services, I'll eat that. I've been living in this particular residence for the last 26 years. It's not going to hurt me to continue to pay property taxes because the house is paid for, right? Cool. So, yeah, I will not support not paying property taxes. I'm not too concerned about, the first responders and the fire department and all that, because those are unions, and my main guy back here, Tyrone Williams, he negotiates for all the unions, so I know they get their money. All right, so I'm not really worried about police and fire and all those union jobs, because they are protected and they're going to get what's theirs. But for the elderly, for the kids, and we pay. Look at it. We pay for schools. I don't have any kids going to those schools, but those schools deserve to be funded, right? So I gotta go sit down.
Next question from the audience. Florida continues to struggle with teacher retention. What specific policies would you support to recruit?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Florida continues to struggle with teacher retention. What specific policies would you support to recruit and keep experienced teachers? Candidate Meek.
Of course, the first thing we can do is raise teacher salaries. And then beyond that, we need to make sure that teachers can actually afford a home. So there's already a Hometown Heroes program that allows teachers and other public servants to get down payment assistance on their first home. I think we should expand that, and we should also give our teachers a tax break when we can.
With that.
Candidate Gilbert.
Yeah. Well, when you're in Congress, it's what Congress has to do. And so what Congress has to do is actually give money to districts that are actually going to raise teacher salaries. We're acting like this is a foreign concept. We do it for police officers all the time. It was called the COPS program. So they would pay for half the salary, and they would give them a heightened salary, and the locality would pay for a little more. Do the same thing for teachers. You keep saying you value educators and teachers. You keep saying they're creating the future, and then you pay a minimum wage. Look, I believe what I see, not what you say. If we're going to do it, then let's just do it. Let's erase their student loans. Let's erase their student loans. Let's give them guaranteed FHA, low interest loans for homes. There are things we can do if we actually value a profession that actually shows that we value the profession. Right now, we value them with our mouths and not with our wallets, and that's our bad. Thank you.
Candidate Brown.
Okay. I'm very much as a school teacher. We are not valued, so I agree with my fellow people. But I actually want to say that we will have to give them some type of incentive. Even like you said, with something we're dealing with them purchasing a home. If you're a school teacher, you already know that we're coming out of our own pocket. This has been going on for several years. Yes, we're going out of our own pockets to make sure, because it's the passion what we have for our kids. And things have changed in the school system because they're not getting paid enough money. They're not getting anything that they need from the government. And I think that we should probably change it and bring it into the local state. Bring it into your local. How about if we bring it into the local and then allow some of the funding to come back to the actual school teachers, like I said, going back to actually giving them incentives. So that's what I would do.
Candidate Vereen.
Do y'all remember when there used to be an officer next door program? There was also a teacher next door program. You all remember that? I don't know where that program went, hadn't followed it. I wasn't a teacher, so it wasn't really of much interest to me, but I know of the teachers that did participate in that program. That was an incentive, because of what they wanted to do was bring teachers back into the neighborhoods. And so they told them, find a house.
Yep.
You can live in that house for 5 years, and after 5 years, it's yours to do whatever you want to do with it. And it was free. They didn't have to pay any rent for that house. That house was given to them for a period of 5 years, and they stayed for 5 years. After 5 years, that house became theirs. I think we need to go back into that. I think that we start doing that teacher next door program again. A lot of teachers, especially with the value of homes in Miami, Miami be flooded with teachers. And so I think we need to go back to that, other than raising the amount that you're paying the teachers. Of course, they need to be paid a lot more. I've seen the videos of these kids in school. Teachers need more money.
Candidate Davis.
I'm a former school teacher. And one of the reasons I'm former because the pay was so bad. So definitely teachers need to have more money. I remember back when there was this advertising for lottery, and the lottery system was supposed to support the educational system. But somehow that money got sideswiped, was either put someplace else, was the sole source for schools. We need to bring and understand the value of a good education. Even though I'm not in the Dade County school system, I have a program that teaches schools. The schools are more vocational and more artistic. My kids have gone to Broadway. They got an Academy Awards, got Grammy Awards, because we provide quality education. Mm-hmm. We need smaller classrooms. We need counselors. These kids have difficulties that they need someone to talk to. I think teachers need more money. I think the whole school needs more money.
Thank you. Candidate Modesty.
Yeah, we must first start with a pay increase for teachers, because the sacrifice they endure is too important for our children that after they experience education from their teachers, and that these teachers would have to leave them. So, and I have one of these heroes in the room here tonight, and there are many, many teachers here. But my son is a teacher at Cal City High. And if the principal of that school is in the audience or anywhere, I want to thank her. Let me tell you why. Because the pay is so low, my son ended up working 2 jobs. As a science teacher, a science coach, and a musician. And twice or 3 times other schools recruited him, because he tells me every day that these children are so interested in learning, but they lack resources. And you know what the principal did? She calls him every time and says, "You're too important for us, don't leave."
Thank you, Candidate Modesty.
Candidate Jones.
So I think everyone has made it clear that teacher pay is important. Not only is teacher pay important, I also believe that we should incentivize teachers. But here's the one thing that no one is talking about that teachers need, and that's teacher mentorship. The teachers that are inside our classroom, many of our first to third year teachers are leaving the classroom because they're frustrated with the classroom because they do not have individuals in the classroom to help them along. But along with our teachers who are just starting, but what about our 10 and our 15-year veteran teachers? Those are the individuals who also we need to pay attention to. Why? Summertime right now, you have teachers who are trying to figure out how they're going to get a paycheck because their paycheck has stopped because they're no longer a teacher. We know what Congress should do, make sure that our school districts have enough money to pay teachers year-round and not just make it an option.
Candidates from the audience. The Metro Rail for the North Corridor has been a fantasy for the residents in the North. What is your plan to make it a reality? I'll start with you, Candidate Meek.
It's by ensuring that the federal government provides adequate funding for the project. I think there are some holdups at the state level, but the federal government can certainly fill the gap. As someone that took public transit myself for many, many years, I know that it's terribly underfunded, and there just isn't enough track out there. So we need to expand to northern communities in Miami-Dade County. We also need to expand out west so that students can get to FIU and other institutions. So that really begins on the federal level, and that's exactly what I plan on doing when I get to Congress.
Candidate Munstein.
Well, when I became chairman of the county commission and also chairman of the transportation planning organization, we created the SMART plan. And I'm very proud to say that I collaborated strongly for 2 years with Commissioner Gilbert, who basically introduced the SMART steps after that to lead the implementation of the North Corridor. So the federal government, the state government, the governor in the past refunded the federal government funding from the federal government that was supposed to be spent on extending Metro Rail here. So as someone who's very versed on the topic, I will go to Washington and ensure that funding comes here for a project that I participated in strongly when I was a county commissioner and chair.
Candidate Vereen.
Miami-Dade government has been so corrupt with regard to this.
That's what I'm listening to.
His grandmother went to D.C. and got a bunch of money.
Come on.
And brought it back here for rapid transit. And what did Alex Pinellas do with that money? He reappropriated it. So all this about what we're going to do, no, we did it before.
Come on.
Go get the money. We need to have transparency. Bring it back here. Do not allow your mayor to reappropriate that money and get that Metro Rail where it's supposed to be. That's the bottom line. We have been patient, and they've been stealing from us year after year after year after year after year. Don't let them do it anymore. That money has been allocated time and time again, and we need to stop being patient. Vote them out of office.
Candidate Gilbert.
You know, it's interesting because everyone's talking about it, but they're not talking about it specifically. So let me do that. When they actually made the promise of Metro Rail North, it would have cost around $300 million. $300 million. And they said it was too expensive to do. Now it's $1 billion a mile, and it's 10 miles. One of the things that I did just a couple of weeks ago at the TPO is I changed what we call the locally preferred alternative. Because we've been predicating the idea of rapid mass transit under the premise that it had to be heavy rail. Heavy rail is the most expensive rapid mass transit. Look, we're not using the same technology that we used 30 years ago. In anything else, we don't have to use it in rapid mass transit. We just need something that gets us from point A to point B quickly. So we started to actually evaluate that as a county now and partner with the federal government because they're actually looking for new technologies that will allow us to connect this county. That's one thing. And let me just say, I think I'm the only person up here that actually took rapid mass transit in Miami-Dade County.
Thank you. Thank you, Candidate Gilbert. Candidate Davis.
So the district as is now is give us some wonderful opportunities. If we only could dream and make transportation a part of that goal. This is a wonderful place, this district, in terms of art and other activities that we can experience, and we need transportation to get there. We can't do that by what is being proposed in terms of taxes by cutting funds that will be needed to provide transportation. We also need to make sure that we have a concrete plan so that when we receive money, money's going to be spent exactly as it's supposed to be spent.
Candidate Jones.
Just this past legislative session, the Dade delegation, that's meaning the Republicans and Democrats in Tallahassee, we all band together, and I must give credit to what credit is due to Commissioner Gilbert and to some other commissioners, because they did stand with us when it came to making sure that those dollars reached back to Miami-Dade County. Let me tell you why I'm making this point. It is Tallahassee who is holding up federal dollars, and Tallahassee and Washington, D.C. is paying pickleball with your tax dollars, especially when it comes to mass transit. This could have been done, y'all. Many years this could have been done. And so when we get to Congress, the one thing that needs to happen is that we hold the feet to the fire to the federal government is give us the money that was owed. Because last time it was $300 billion, then it was $600 billion, now it's going to continue to keep going up if we do not stop and hold them accountable for what we are owed to ensure that people can get from point A to point B. Thank you.
Candidate Brown.
From what I'm listening to, it seems like we have two commissioners that's been able to get this done, and the job still hasn't been done. That's just what I'm listening. That's what I'm hearing. And they both set up here to say this. And I'm also here. Like I said, I come from the state of Illinois, which is a big corrupt state. When money is brought in, if you can't fight for your state now, you can't fight for your state now. If you can't fight for your state now to get the job done, then what are you going to do when you get to Congress? This is local. That's it.
All right, folks. All right. We have reached the final round, the last question. For time's sake, I'm going to make this last question a rapid fire question. I think it fits in the rapid fire mode, but a little bit of a hybrid, meaning that if your yes or your no needs 30 seconds of explanation, we'll give you that 30 seconds of explanation. But I think the question is pretty straightforward enough for folks to be clear on their answers. But if folks need that additional 30 seconds, we want to give you that option as sort of a hybrid. Following this question, though, we will be closing. You'll be doing a 60-second closing, and we will be starting with candidate Vereen and working our way back through since we started with introductions that way. So the question is, District 24 carries a large number of senior residents. Yes or no, do you support privatization of Social Security? That's the question. Do you support privatization of Social Security? Again, if you have a yes, have a no, and want to explain, you get an additional 30 seconds, feel free. But if you just want to be like, I'm good, you can keep it moving. And we'll start with Commissioner Gilbert since he leaned forward. Go ahead.
Absolutely not. Social Security doesn't become secure if you make it subject to private markets. Look, the reason why Social Security was actually created was so that it created a social floor. We said that folks, when they got old, they worked all their lives, they would have an opportunity to have something at the base. If you make it fluctuate with the market, it might look good in a little bit, but there's danger there. No, I wouldn't support that. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Davis.
No, I would not support it. Not at all.
Commissioner Monestein.
Not at all, no.
Candidate Vereen.
No.
Candidate Meek.
Absolutely not.
Candidate Brown.
Our people worked for that. That's all I can say.
There we have it. All right. Senator Jones.
Absolutely not.
Thank you very much. All right. So we are going to allow again for a 60.
Florida's 24th.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. Florida's 24th Congressional District is one of the most consequential seats in South Florida. A majority black district with deep roots, urgent needs, and a proud history of producing leaders who fight for working people. In 2 minutes or less, tell the voters in the room why you are the right person to carry that legacy forward, and name one action you will take in your first 100 days in Congress. This is your closing statement. This is your time to make your case to the people of District 24. We'll start with you, Candidate Vereen.
In 2010, I ran for this very seat. Back then it was District 17. It was between Frederica Wilson and myself. At that time, one out of three children lived in poverty. 1 out of 3 seniors lived in poverty. The poverty rate at that time was 13 to 14%. 1 out of 3 households was headed by a single mother. That was 16 years ago. Now, 1 out of every 5 children live in poverty. 1 out of 6 seniors live in poverty. The poverty rate is now 18%. And 1 out of 3 households is headed by a single mother. This is the poorest district, congressional district in the state of Florida. Didn't know that, did you? It is. This district needs innovators. There's a wave going across this country right now. It's called data centers. I'm sure you all have been reading about them. The governor has signed laws regarding that, and the president signed an executive order, 14318, that allows now quick permitting of digital infrastructure. I want y'all to go back and I want y'all to spend some time reading about that because there's pros and there's cons. A database, a data center, and there's one downtown, it's called Equinix. They are one of 282. They generate $9.2 billion a year. There's one in Opelika right now they just paid $150 million for. It's called Iron Mountain. Stock is being sold on the New York Stock Exchange at $131 right now per share. So those are private data centers. A public data center, 4 megawatts. 4 megawatts generates $1 million. 1 megawatt generates $4 million. Imagine if you had one, and the president has now signed it, where there's 100 million or 100 megawatts. That generates between $200 and $400 million a year for this district.
Thank you, Candidate Vereen. Next, we will hear from you, Candidate Munstein.
First of all, I want to thank you all for being here this evening. I'm privileged to stand on this platform. As someone who came here as a 17-year-old, this community has been great to me. And I understand that in the American dream, you achieve the American dream when you teach people how to achieve the American dream. And that's my passion. It is Cornel West who said, you cannot lead the people if you don't love the people. You cannot save the people if you don't serve the people. And I'm a servant. Many of you have already watched me serving my community. And I do it indiscriminately. Everybody has equal opportunity to see me, to be served by me. That's why I carry the nickname, a professional servant. And that's who I want to be. That's my calling. Because life has been good to me, not because I deserve it, because my community has been good to me. The church that received me more than 45 years ago, where people knew that I was here with no father, no mothers, they encouraged me to stay out of trouble. They encouraged me to go to school. Though I'm still paying the student loan 35 years later, but I'm pleased and I'm proud that they encourage me to stay in school. That's exactly why you have to be loyal to the people that's been there for you. And that's why I'm still a member of this same church 45 years later. Every step of my life, people think I would leave. But how could you leave the people that carried you up? You can't. You can't. Because if you do so, you'll face them again if life's bring you down. And that's why I'm here. I'm here passionately, ready to serve the people that have been here for me, that have been there for me. And that's my passion. Send me to Washington.
Thank you, candidate.
And you'll see that I'll continue to fight for the community that loves me so much and I love so much.
Now we're here from candidate Meek.
I just want to say thank you all for being out here tonight and for listening. Look, I come from a long line of public servants. Carrie Meek, I was at her hip from a young age. I learned what it's like to serve this community, and I did the same thing with Kendrick Meek, both here in the district and in Washington. I'm the only person on this stage that has federal policy experience. I've worked both on Capitol Hill and at the Biden White House, and I'm proud of that. So I have a legacy to stand on, but I also have created a path of my own. I know this community well. I know that we have our problems, particularly with affordability, accountability with our government officials, and again, promoting the next generation of leadership. That's what this campaign is all about for me, and it's why I hope I can earn your vote on August 18th. Thank you very much.
Now we'll hear from you, candidate Jones.
So I'm gonna start off by saying this. Y'all, this is not easy doing this. But I also say that all these individuals who stand on this stage, it's probably not popular for me to say this, but I'm sure we'll be blessed to be served by any one of us. You all will have to make a decision. The decision that you all are going to have to make is not about a popularity contest, not about who have the most signs out. It's about who's going to make sure they're going to fight the fight of the struggle that we're dealing with in this country right now. For the past 14 years, you all have been on a journey with me. We have passed meaningful legislation in one of the toughest legislative environments in the country. From police body cameras all the way to the Teddy Bridgewater Act. We all did that together. I don't have to make up anything that I'm going to do for you. You all have the receipts of what I've done for you. And so here's my ask to you. Don't check me out on the signs or Facebook likes or anything of that nature. I ask that you check me based off of how I served you before. And I hope that you will send me to Washington, D.C. so we can continue this journey together. Why? Because you deserve it. Thank you all so much.
And now we're here from you, candidate Gilbert.
A week ago, yesterday, I had the honor of being endorsed by Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. What's important about that endorsement is that it wasn't a popularity contest. She knows everybody on the stage. She knows their words. She's been in this community, served in Congress 15 years, public service 30 years. What's important about the endorsement is she didn't endorse me because of what I said. She endorsed me because of what I did. I got to actually be her mayor, so she got to see me turn the city around. That was number 7 most dangerous and not be in the top 100. I got to be her mayor. She got to see me open up parks that were closed. She got to see me create business opportunities when there was none.
No, I went to it already.
So it's interesting that everybody up here, we basically all agreed, except for one, on most of the issues. That's fine. Those are words. They have real words. I have real work. And that real work extends from being a councilman in Miami Gardens to being the chair of the county commission. Because when they told me that, well, you know what, our security guards, they don't get paid sick leave. And we tried to do it, but we failed. I said, no, we're going to do it. And now our security guards have paid sick leave. When they said parental leave was actually a priority, but they couldn't expand it, I said, no, it's important that parents actually bond with their child when they're born. We're going to expand it. When they told me that these collective bargaining units and these contracts needed to get on the agenda, but they were being held up, I said they won't be held up. They will be on the agenda and they will pass. Because when other people talk, I work. I would love your support. Thank you.
now we will hear from candidate Davis.
My name is Marshall Davis. I've been working in what was considered the largest impoverished place in a major city. I went there dedicated with intentions of changing that community and changing the individuals that live there. Some of those students that came out of these impoverished project areas are now working at Yale's, gotten scholarships to Berkeley. Our professors at Howard University and FAMU. This was intentional work. I used vocational education. I made art as an essential part of their development, as it is an essential part of all of our lives. We don't understand the value of having someone with an art and creative background and what they can do for others. What I've done for kids, some who thought they was not fully educatable, they're now educatable. They have a building, they have a job, they have been on so many different programs and doing extremely well. Because art develops the brains, it brings the synapses, it makes you a better person. I've used art as I would use anything to improve lives of the individuals. I've been there 43 years. Good Morning America came down to capture the work that has been done there. Others have made a film about the program that we designed that is doing extremely well and can think it should be a program around the nation. I want to use the arts, I want to use vocation, I want to use all the skills I've had to make sure that we're getting what we should have. This new district is quite different from what we're accustomed to. It's a mix. It's a mix of people that is considered impoverished. It's a mix of people that are very wealthy. I have the skills to bring people together and to make it work so that this whole district can be made alive. Thank you.
And now we'll hear from candidate Brown.
Okay. First, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here. I was once where you guys were about, 11 years ago. I was a Democrat. And that's because I did not grow up in a conservative stronghold. I did not. I was a vote blue, don't matter who. That's where we come from. That's our MO back in Illinois. I had to move my family from that state because of the corruption, failed schools, businesses fleeing, doors closed, crime, safety, not being able to get on the train, not being able to get on the bus, just everything. And I think I told this to you guys before that Florida, this is a great state. And faith, family, freedom. I am not a career politician at all. I'm not. I will never be. I am a community builder. I'm a person that goes, I say what I say, I do what I do, and I would love for you guys for me to have you at one of my events so I can explain to you the reason why I changed being a Democrat. It wasn't about, who the person was. It was just about the actual policies. Policies mean everything. So in Congress, we actually create the legislation. And this is the reason why I'm here. It's not for me. It is for all of us. It's for our children and our children's children. So we won't go back. So we will not. We cannot allow the devil to deceive us. We're not knowing what the uncomfortable truth is. That's the main thing. It says that if the foundation is destroyed, what will the righteous do? What will the righteous do? What will the righteous do? I am not afraid to explain to my people exactly what's written in black and white. And I'm asking you guys, I know I'm not on there with my fellow people. Yeah, there you go. But I am just asking you for you guys to just give me a chance. Understand who I am. Understand what I bring to the table and what I can deliver. And that will be results. Again, I am Tamayana Brown, and I approve this message, and I expect to see you guys somewhere in my events, okay?
We'd like to take this time to say thank you to all of our candidates. Thank you for giving us a moment of your times and talking to us so that we can get a chance to know you, get a chance to know your platform, and get a chance to get informed about what you would do if you were to be elected to this office. And now we're going to turn it over to the president of the NAACP, Ms. Daniela Pierre.
Fired up! Woo! Fired up! Fired up! All right, we want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We made it, y'all. We made it. We made it. Thank all the candidates. Thank all our sponsors. Don't forget, we do have a special call to action by Mr. Hannibal Bruton, who's going to come up. But we want to ask all of the candidates who are running for office in the audience to stand. If you're running for office, okay, thank you, recognized. Thank you for being recognized. Don't forget August 3rd, first day of early voting for Miami-Dade County. August 8th, Miami-Dade County, Broward County, early voting. Oh, where's Hannibal? Hannibal. Okay, our call to action by Mr. Hannibal Bruton, then we'll have group pictures. Yes.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Listen, this call to action was initiated by Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who was hindered from being here tonight because she is in Congress fighting for our rights, not only for District 24, but for Americans everywhere. This pumps, pearls, and politics Good evening. Good evening. Listen, can I get everyone's attention, please? I'm not a loud talker, so if you're talking, you can't hear me, I know. This Pumps and Pearls and Politics Town Hall meeting has made a major call for action. Join me in recognizing the presidents and members of all Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated chapters. Please stand. Thank you. Thank you. I would also feel remiss if I did not recognize that the D9 is in the house. If you're in the house, clap it up. All right, as well, please, another round for the candidates, because it takes courage to stand up here and say what you believe when you know it's not with everyone else. Take time. All right. I was called a task today to make this address, and I'm being honest, I was a little nervous, so I called a good friend and mentor of mine for some direction. And one of the things he said to me, and I'm summarizing, one of the things that he said to me, and I'm summarizing, is that leaders lead, it's time to lead. This call for action is about, and I'm going to borrow from President McCormick, it's about the need to educate, organize, vote, serve, and I would add to that and say, represent. Representation of ourselves, our communities, our culture, our businesses and economics. It's about the representation and addressing of our needs. Please note the pronoun that I used, our. District 24 is not my district. I live in South Miami, Princeton to be exact. So understand that I don't have a dog in the fight on this stage. But we must understand that the slighting of any of our communities is a liability to all of our communities. It becomes a matter of setting precedents and implementing strategies that expand and become systemic. We address ourselves as kings and queens. If that is the case, then District 24 is a village in the kingdom. If a major village such as Miami Gardens is not represented properly, then it is weakened, and how long before the next and the kingdom is in jeopardy? I often say I don't do politics, I do people. But by the grace of God, I've been around long enough to understand that if you don't deal with the politics will deal with you. Tonight may have been entertaining, but understand it wasn't about that. I hope that we, and I need you all to pay attention to the pronoun again, we all have been educated a little tonight, and that we will use what we have learned to organize, and that we will vote for representation, and that we will vote for representation that will serve our communities just as much as it does others. Again, my name is Hannibal N. Burton. Thank you all for coming out and supporting this event, because in doing so, you are supporting yourselves. God bless you all. Good night.
Hello. As chair of the Department of Arts and Humanities, I see firsthand the transformative power of music in our students' lives. Your support directly impacts them, providing scholarships, enhancing our programs, and creating vital opportunities. This Giving Day, join us in fostering the next generation of musicians and artists. Every contribution makes a difference. Thank you for your support.
Why give to Florida Memorial University? It's truly about creating pathways for global leaders of today and for tomorrow. Stating leadership, character, service, and accountability is truly the work that's done here.
I believe Give Day is important because it furthers students' education and lessens financial burden.
When you give, you're not just supporting a campus, you're expanding the horizon of student interests. From research in the arts to athletics and community service, your generosity opens doors for us to explore, create, and discover who we're meant to become.
FMU doesn't just educate students, it develops leaders, builds character, and creates legacy. Your support fuels scholarships, strengthens programs, and empowers students like me to lead and serve. Give back to FMU, because when you invest in us, you invest in the future.
FMU Give Day is special because it invites all of the supporters of this great university to give, especially the church. The church has been giving for years, and at this time, we want to say thank you for your continuous efforts to support your beloved university.
FMU has a legacy of providing access, opportunity, and purpose for students who might not otherwise have a pathway to higher education. When we give, we're not just supporting a university, we're investing in futures, strengthening our community, and ensuring that FMU continues to thrive for generations to come.
If you are willing, and we hope you are, to give to Florida Memorial University, we guarantee you that the resources provided will be used to educate, to train, and to propel students into a better future. Thank you for opening your hearts, your wallets, and making a difference for other students to come here and change their lives as I have. God bless you, and we look forward for you being a partner of Florida Memorial University.